Hello, beautiful people. Hello. Hello. Hmm. Hmm. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Hello, beautiful people. I know that you want to see an MMO development session. I know. It's the dream of every person to see how games are made, so to understand how the bugs in games are actually working or not working. I know that is your wildest dream, and in fact I'm here to show you exactly that. um pets and familiars. Yes, we are still working on pets and familiar. I have to stop at a certain time because otherwise we will work on pet and familiars for the next 3 months, right? So we need, as you can see, I mean, fixing bugs is time consuming, but is, reasonable. Creating new features and testing the new features is way longer. And the difference is that the old game is helping me a lot when fixing bugs because I can just check how the old game was working and I can compare the two and understand where I am and what is not working, and also the majority of the logic is already in place. So it's much easier. While when we have to develop something new, like now we are doing with the pets, it's not the same thing. It takes way more time. So if we go back to our mission, is my head too big? No, maybe it looks a bit bigger. Um, hello, Tony. Hello, Yorlak. Hey, Zwei. Welcome. So what I was saying is that if you look at our mission, which is this one, I think that we are pretty much in the middle of this, right? So we did different things, and we improved the way pet are learning and trying to teach them some phrases and teaching them to eat and things like that. And eating is probably working, I would say. Now, one thing that we for sure we need to do is this one: present a proper 3D model, because at the moment the 3D model is not correct, so it's just a sample pet, but actually we should substitute the real pet. So what I was doing just before I joined was to add to the send familiar information, which is the one that is sent to the player when he log in, also the mesh, which means the 3D model, the 3D model, the 3D model of the pet, right? And we already have this information because it's in the database, and we just need to extract it like I was trying to do here, and we need to assign it to a mesh property that at the moment we don't have yet. So we need to add this mesh property somewhere here. I think I will add it just after the name, and we will call it mesh, right? Mesh. This one are read-only, yes. I know yesterday I was complaining about read-only, but in this case, none of this is going to be changed in the blueprint in the client side, so I think it's fine. So we assign our mesh. Now we need to see if this assignment of the mesh is actually reaching the client properly or not. And so I think I need to close this, recompile, and see if we can get this property in the blueprints. So there is a special, hello Marcelo, welcome, welcome. Oh, by the way, we were 40 Patreons for a few hours between yesterday and today, and then now we are back to 39. But it's okay. I just wanted to celebrate the 40. You all know that we need to reach like 4,000, okay? So 40 is a good goal, but 4,000 will definitely be better, but we will reach it slowly but surely. One day, when the sun will be shining. So no, what I wanted to say, I forgot already. Ah, yes, that when we load, yes, if you look at our world from the top, right? This is the top view, okay? From the top, and the main city Hidla is very, very small here. And then there are all the other things here, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, Amneder is here. We reserve some areas of the map to special places, right? And for example, we have a place reserved for the character creation. So actually, when you are creating your character, you are on the map, even if you don't know it, but you are. You are just in a special location, which is very distant from the real city and the real playable area, right? So in this area here, I also have, still compiling, yeah? Okay. I also have the pet, because the pet that you see in the pet window is actually a kind of a camera which is looking at a specific place in the world. So let's say that our pet is I don't know, is here in this area, right? And we needed to so we need to load it and we need to change it so that you can see it in the pet screen. I think at the beginning I will probably do it only for the main one, but I think it will make sense to have it also for all the other mounts, right? So that you can see them. Even if I think with your primary pet, it's all your fault. No, Marcelo, you already contributed a lot. Don't worry at all. Don't worry at all. It's just, I mean, the statistic on Patreon is just, you know, it's just for fun. I mean, to see a bit of the progression, but there is no need, no rush, no. Absolutely, don't feel obliged to do anything. Did he compile or not? Yes, succeeded. Okay, we can launch the editor. So what I have to do, basically, I have in that remote place of the world, I have to place a pet, the right pet, when we load in, right? And one of the important points is that obviously it needs to be different for each player, right? So every player may have a different pet, and so it means that this thing is client side. I mean, it's only on your PC, right? The server will not see that particular creature, right? Will not be aware of it. So we need to put it on the client side only, which is okay because we can spawn items on the client. We can spawn creatures or whatever we want. Usually in MMO you don't do it because you want everything to be replicated to all the players, but in this case we want, because it's something special that we use only for the UI, right? Okay, so what we want to do, we want to get I think we need to place a fake actor. I don't know if I want to reuse exactly that actor or I want to use another one. There is another complexity though. There is another complexity. The other complexity is that our world is made of different levels. And I think that we want that one to be in the persistent level. Because we don't want that to never be unloaded. Right? So so it must be in the persistent level, I think. So if I go in the podium map, by the way, I can show you something also that I added a few days ago that I think you didn't see. I added the, where is everything? Wow, it's down there. Holy moly. I added this warp. You see this warp? Yes, this warp is an effect that we will use when you are going through portals, right? And in particular, you will go through portals at the beginning of the game. So when you are going from the character creation to the actual playable world, right? But it's just to symbolize that, to explain to the player that he's actually traveling between worlds. And I think we will use this 2 times. We will use it one between character creation and the Draken plane, and one between the Draken plane and the actual world, right? At the moment he's there, he's sitting here, but I think he's okay. He has his own, as you can see here, he has his own camera setup that if I click it, I see here exactly what we should see here in the bottom right. And yeah, we're gonna use it. You're gonna use it soon. Somewhere else, I don't remember if it's on the other side. No, is here hidden behind one of this. Okay, here it is. Here is our guy, our little guy, which is the pet, right? He also has some light on him and a camera and everything. And basically this is what you see in the pet screen, okay, in the pet window. So when you are opening the pet window, we are capturing this view, and this guy obviously will be moving. Now he's not moving because we are not in play, but he will be moving. Yeah, he can do whatever he needs to do. Hello, Dakre. I'm working on pets and and familiars, since we are working already since few days, but now I would like, instead of having this placeholder, right, which is equal to all the players, I would like actually to load in this position properly the actual pet model that the player has. So it may be this one or another one. Yeah, for the portal will be used after character creation. So this part of the world is all the character creation. So here you see the world, and here there is where you select the different traits. No, sorry, here is the universe view, and here is where you select the different traits. So there are just the different screens that you see during character creation. There is the zodiacs creation. And so basically what we do, we just switch between cameras. So it looks like you are changing screen, but in reality you are moving between these locations. Okay, so that is how it works. Yeah, and then hidden behind everything here is our pet. So I think we can use an empty actor and then substitute it. I think it will be the easiest. So we can change his position as we want without having to hard code the coordinates. I think it's probably the best way. So I want to make current the persistent level, and I want to drop my empty actor in the persistent level. And I want to take exactly the same location and the same rotation of this creature and put it on our empty actor, right? So that when we spawn the actual pet, yeah, we will see it. Now maybe we can give a name to this thing. Let's name it pet actor location or something like that. So we will go and we will read that one, right? What is this actor one? It's not very clear to me what is this. There is another actor one which is somewhere, but did I put two, one on top of the other, or no? I don't know exactly where is it. Maybe it's one of these thingies. No, I don't know. It seems to be another actor. There is probably an empty actor, but at the moment I would say we don't really care. We don't really care. So we want to remove this guy. I think this guy we can actually remove it. I'm thinking if there is anything associated to this guy that, but no, I think we can actually remove it. We can actually remove it. Okay. So what we want to do, pet actor location. I think we need a tag. The best will be to make it a specific class, actually, because if we make it a specific class, the search will be like instant, right? If it's not, well, it's also true that is the character creation, so you have nothing loaded. There is just the basic word loaded, so probably we can do it anyway. The idea would be to put a tag on this actor and maybe call it exactly the same. So we put a tag and we will call it pet actor location, right? So we will have a tag on this guy. And then what we want to do, hello Hula, good evening. What we want to do, we want to when we are loading in and we are receiving the pets, because there is a time where we receive the pets, we're receiving them inside our planeshift player controller, planeshift player controller, and here we should have in theory a message somewhere which is sending us the pet information. What is it? Oh, it must be here. Maybe it's on the character itself. Wait. Dun 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 dun. Send familiar information, right? It's called receive pet list. Yes, the receive pet list should be here. Actually easy. Okay, I didn't see it for some reason. Isn't it completely? No, receive pet list is still on the main graph. Now we need to move this. We need to move this thing. So let's move it and let's bring it to the path graph so that we have it in the right location, and we can put it here, and we can take this and put it here. And as you can see, I'm doing it in reverse order just because the function otherwise will complain that they don't exist. Right? So this is why I'm doing it kind of in reverse order. And then we copy this one and we put it under paths. Okay, so now we have it all in the right place, and it's a bit easier to search, I guess. So when we are receiving the path list, there will be one which is the primary, which is always the number 0, right? I think we can do it. I think we can do it here. In theory, we should do it even before populating the window, because the window is relying on the right path to be in place. Now, it will not really make a difference, but I think the logically is better if we do it like here, and then we call the window setup, right? So what we want to do, we want to do a get of 0, because we know that 0 is the familiar that you actually have an empathy with. And then from this guy, I think we need to break the node, and we need to get now the mesh, right? The mesh is the one that we have here. Now with the mesh, I need to see if I can already generate the right view. Now this will change with evolution stages, right? Because depending on the evolution stage, it may have a different model. But at the moment we don't have different models, so I'm not gonna do it now. But at least we have the mesh. And the mesh is basically the mesh is, for example, Ulbar, right? Ulbar is the mesh. So what we need to do, we need, now I think it's probably easier if I do it in C++ and send it to him, because I don't want to mess up too much with strings and stuff. I'm thinking if it's better that I create a function that is just doing the job. Probably, because actually the function should do quite few things. So should it will be similar. It will be similar to what we do in the pre-login. Will be similar to request character. Exactly. You see that we already have find character class, and this find character, so I think we should reuse this piece, and so I think it should be hello to a good evening. Hello, hello. Find character class. Yeah, you see, it's already doing all the job. Yeah, I think we should use exactly this function. And I think we can. Race is a U class, yes. And then when we are spawning it, we are using race, yes, and transformation. I think the spawn character is fairly easy to do in Blueprint, so I can do it in Blueprint. It's not too much of a problem. I just need the class, right? So, or I change this mesh, that maybe is a good idea. Or I change this mesh directly to the class, and so we just pass this mesh here to the class, and the spawn transformation we get it by doing get all actors of class or whatever. No, get all actor with tag, and we get as a tag the one that we just set before, which is this pet location, right? So we just do this search, and we know that we will get only one, so we don't really care about. So we get only one, and from this one we will get the actor location, and we will split the structure, and we will put the actor location into this. Now I think I want also the rotation actually. Yes. While the scale will be given by the evolution stage, right? And I think that in the future we will we will expand it a bit. I think in the future we'll expand it a bit to have the actual different models based on the evolution stage. But for now, yeah, so I think that the decision is that we pass the mesh, that we pass here directly the class from the C++, so it's quicker. We need way more space here. And okay, so we wait, this thing maybe. Okay, just to keep things clean and organized, and we connect this one here, and then we will connect it here, right? So yes, let's change this one to actually give me the class. Yeah, now this is complaining, but it's normal that it's complaining, it's fine. So we want, instead of, so I need to close it. I don't know why I want to change podium, because actually I didn't change it, but fine. So we will put in our structure, which I think is inside pet manager and is here. Yes, instead of the name of the mesh, we will directly go with a U class. And I will call it maybe race mesh, something like that. Race mesh class, race whatever, race mesh. I think race mesh is okay. And when we are extracting the data, which is here, instead of just simply reading the mesh, get a class used to spawn the mesh, right? And so here we will do something like this, and then we will take from our pregame helper request character. Where is it? This thing, right? And this thing. So I think that this piece becomes this piece in theory, right? And the rest will be character underscore C. I think it should be like that. So this will be Ulbar character underscore C, right? And if we read, if we check, for example, our content under NPC Ulbar, we will have why not? No. It's under blueprints. Blueprints, NPC. Yes, Ulbar character. Okay. Then the underscore C, I don't know, is something weird that Unreal Engine is doing, but it will find exactly that. So when we have this race, I think we can actually associate, you know, this thing directly here. I think it can be directly like this. Yes, find character class. I don't know exactly where is. I think it's defined inside a pregame helper. Yeah, it's defined inside pregame helper and is a static method, which is great. So we can just call pregame helper and then find character class. So this will be pregame helper and then find character class. I don't know why it's complaining. Probably because it's just not imported here. Just need to be sure because here we are inside server. This one is okay, so it is actually /. Okay, let's try to compile it like this and see what it's doing. But I think it should be fine. By the way, I think Unreal Engine is streaming today. Let me check. Let me say hello as usual. Let me say hello, my friends. Hello. Yes. Hello, fellow engine EU devs. I will say hello. I don't know what they are doing actually. They are working on how to use NVIDIA DLSS in Unreal Engine. Okay, so they are describing how to use new effects, right? For RTX. I will send a bit of an annoying message to Victor if he's here. No, he's not here. Why? Or I cannot see it that he's here. Not that I know him. Yes, he's here. Always available for a raid. Sorry for the try-harding here, but trying to grow. Okay, I'll send him the message and probably will see it. Maybe. It will go like, fuck, this guy is asking about the raid. I will never raid him. Okay. That's fine. The problem is that he's always raiding the same person, which is, by the way, a very good dev. I don't know if you have this dev. In case I like, sharing different devs. Is Eloise? Eloise is an Unreal Engine developer. Is this nice lady here, and she's developing pretty cute games. At the moment, I think she's developing a bunny park. So he's updating this application, and she already made like 3 different games. They are targeting like kids, but you never know what adult can play. So maybe he's played also by adults, and she already made 3 games with Unreal Engine and released it on Steam, which I think is very nice. She's doing it as a job, so it's a bit different from us because we are doing it as a hobby. And yeah, and so she's actually releasing stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to boost a bit the community of Unreal Engine developers. On Twitch, because there are not that many. There is quite a number of Unity developers and only, I don't know how many, but I would say 5, 6 regular. Maybe I don't see them all because maybe in the evenings, in my night or in my morning, they are streaming and I don't see them. But there are not that many. If you search Unreal Engine, there are not that many. So I think it's great to share about them and try to grow the viewership of all of them, ourselves included. But the number of viewers is finally back. Okay, I can finally see who is connected now in our chat. Before it was broken. Okay, I'm waiting the recompilation. So now we are sending the U class directly to the blueprints, and so we are yeah, we just need to then spawn the actor. So I think it will be fairly easy. We just need to get the rotation and translation of our marker and then apply to the actor, and I think we'll be good. We will be good to go. Now, one issue will be with the bigger pets, because at the moment, as you have seen, the camera is looking at a specific, wait, the opposite. The camera is looking at a specific in a specific direction, right? And also is very, very, very close to the pet, right? So if this pet grows in size like 2 times or something, or we shrink him down. Yeah, probably the easiest would be to shrink him down. So to always use the same size here in the view, instead of trying to move the camera, because trying to move the camera I think is kind of annoying. Find character class identifier not found. Interesting. Pre-game helper is not a class or space name. Okay. Pre-game helper. Pre-game helper. Okay. It's called U pre-game helper. Sorry. That's why. It's called U pre-game helper. Yes, like all the Unreal Engine classes, they have the U in front if they are U objects, or they have like F in front if they are structures, or they have the A in the front if they are actors, and so on. So okay, so succeeded. So since it succeeded, we can relaunch the editor. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. What is it here? Why don't I have my icons anymore for Subversion? I think that Dropbox won a game, the race of who has the greatest icons displayed. You know that in Windows there is only one layer of icons that you can have, and every program is trying to override the Explorer overlay of the other programs. And so whenever you install one program that is using overlay icons, it's basically removing the previous one. So it's actually not removing, it's like layering on top, which is a bit funny actually, the fact that it's layering on top of it. Okay, so now we will have, as you can see now, race mesh is a different type, is a U class, which is exactly what we need to fuck, we don't. Why? Because we need to get the static class from this. We need something different. Because must be an actor class. I think I just need to cast it to actor class. I don't know why, but I think we'll be fine. So, but why then in the C++ was working? Just let me check one thing. Find character class. This race we said it is a U class, right? And then when we are spawning, no. No. Wait. Yeah, in theory, this one is taking a U class. So it seems that you see, it's taking a U class. So it seems that the blueprint is working slightly differently than the actual C++ code. But it's okay. I think if we can cast it to an actor class, in theory it should work. Let me just put a printout in case so that we know if something failed, but it should not fail. Okay, let me do this. Cast to actor class failed, but in theory should not fail. So we are going to do what? We need more space. We are going to do this and do this. And then yes, put the class here. Now this guy should not complain anymore, hopefully. Yes, in fact he's not complaining. Now the owner, I think that the owner, we cannot really set an owner at the moment because here we are at the early beginning. And I don't know if not setting an owner will cause any issues. But I don't think so. We will see. So what we are doing, we are searching the location where we want to spawn, getting the first element and getting the actor location and rotation, spawning a new actor, which is actually the right class of the path that we want to spawn, and we are positioning it in front of the camera, right? So that is what this is doing. Now, if this works, I have no idea, but we can test it. We can definitely test it. I think I could just launch it without debug. We don't really care. We can launch it without debug. Pom 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 pom. Pom 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 pom. Okay, we are logged in. If the server is not crashing, but I think it's not, it's just taking its time to load up. It's just slowly loading up. Even if I have the simplified level, it's still taking a bit. By the way, guys, you're very, very quiet. Everything okay? You are super quiet today. Okay, so we don't have a way to verify except then opening the pet window. That's the only thing that we can do. And we can see if, okay, the guy is not there. So let me see if we have any. So I did it. Let me just check if I did it on the client side or not. Yes, I did it on the client, right? And I did this search for a pet actor location. So let me see first of all if this pet actor location for any reason failed to be found, right? I see a few errors here, so probably let me check it on the. I think it's easier if we just look at it from here. Real server and real client. So what we are searching is this fail. No, in case it actually failed. No, okay, so it didn't fail here, but we need to check. Unfortunately, we didn't print out anything there, but it should give an error if it doesn't find. I think we need to add a few more printouts. Received, blah blah blah. But you see that actually loaded it because it's saying begin loading blueprint NPC ULBAR character. So okay, I know why. I think the pet is actually there. I think we can go there, by the way. I think we can go. I think the pet is there, but probably is not picked up by the camera. I think we can teleport there. It's a bit of a weird place, but we can do it. Because actually we can teleport anywhere we want in the game, including that place. And so this is exactly what we're gonna do now. Assuming that the editor allows us to do it. Okay, I guess no. Okay. The editor decided no. So as I told you, that location is actually inside the world, right? Inside the area of the world. So we can actually go here. We can teleport to the character creation area. I just need to know the coordinates, but let me see if I can do it now. I got a bit upset when I opened the map and I clicked. Sometimes when you click very fast between different windows, um, it may happen that Unreal Engine is confusing himself. For example, I cannot go. Wow, it's crashing again. It seems that we found a bug in the editor, by the way. We found a bug in the editor. This sequence of operation is crashing the editor consistently. Which is strange, but it's definitely happening. Okay. Okay, so let's try to go there in another way because we understood that if we do those two clicks, we are just crashing the engine. Okay, so we have to do it differently. I don't know why it's crashing, but it is. So let me select something. I don't know where is this thing, but it's somewhere around here. So instead of taking this pet floor and pet geometry, and let's try something else. Well, I can actually try to navigate manually. The problem is that it's probably very far. Yes. So it will take me so much to go there. Yes. Okay. Up to here seems to be working. Now, the problem probably is that the pets floor. So these are the two. This is the pets floor. So is the piece that is dedicated to having. Oh, sorry, it's too quick. I cannot move. Is dedicated to having the pet camera, right? So the pet camera is looking there, and there is basically there are two screens of black. The problem is that the camera at the moment I think is filtering by. Yes, it's filtering by actors. It's filtering by actors. So or. But I think the pet is actually here. Let me try to teleport and we see. So I will do a teleport to this location and then I can control V, by the way. This location and this location. Every time I control it. Okay, so here we are. I teleport. Yeah, you see the Yule bar is here. So actually we did it right. We did it right. So the Yule bar is there. So it's been dynamically generated because my pet is a Yule bar. And the only problem is that the camera at the moment is picking up only a predefined set of objects, right? Because this is how I set it up. I set it up this way because I wanted to be sure that we were not messing up with the rest of the environment. The problem is that or I add this guy. Do you think I can dynamically change the camera show actors? You know what we can do? We can just trash all of this and just render everything. So let me see. I think I can stay here. This position is getting saved. By the way, if I go a bit more outside, I will see the character creation screens. You see. So it is the character creation. It is the character creation area. Just seen from the point of view, and these are the zodiacs. So yeah, I think we can stay here. So save our position here. And then stop the server. Save the map now that we changed the... Okay, now it's saved. So now the camera is rendering everything. One issue I think that we may have it with the fog or with the other settings, which may mess up the rendering, but let's see. Yeah, because the reason I have used a show list only, a show only list, how it's called, is because it was not working without, I think. But let's see. Let's see. So in theory I should respawn. Oops. I think the server crashed. I don't know exactly what happened, but we had a crash on the server side. Inside PS character 5773. Inside PS character 5773. Why? Wow. What? Why is crashing here? It's only me. I'm the only player connected, so I don't understand how this may crash. I mean, for sure the Yule bar doesn't have a player control, eh? But it's kind of weird that it crashed. It's kind of weird that it crashed now that I was in that location instead of okay, let's try one more time and see. It looks like I cannot spawn there, But like there is the previous player control. No, but a player controller should be only me. That is very, very strange. There should be no other player controller in the game at the moment when I log in. Yeah. It's crashing again. It's crashing exactly in the same way. It's crashing exactly in the same way. Wow. Um. Is our guy because our guy is just a PS character. So I don't think it should be the problem. Now in this location we have pretty close to us the previous character, which is the sample one. I don't know if that character actually has does not have a player controller, or what the hell is going on. Because in the pre-game helper, which is here, when we request the character, we are moving between the selection screen and the game. We are spawning the character here. And then we are associating the player controller here. That's kind of interesting though. I think I want to understand why. I want to understand why this bug is happening, because I don't see a reason. So basically what it's doing is that it's just cycling on all the existing player controllers. And it should be only me, because a player controller is actually a player, okay? Should be only me. And then in this iteration is doing nothing else than checking the distance between me and that player controller, which by the way in this case is me, and then is sending a mod message, right? The thing that we are not doing here, we are not excluding ourselves, I guess. But the reason is that because we do it through the... No, but anyway, we also need to send it to ourselves, because on the client we don't have this information. So it is actually sending an information to the client. I don't know if maybe the okay, but we can do something else. Let's not go crazy about this, because this crash happens only if I am in that particular spot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reset my position, right? Because now we are doing another test and I don't want to spend the time in... So we will reset our position to the actual Hidla position. So let me go under characters and we take our Melare guy and we restore his position, because we went there just to see that. Yeah, let's take whatever position. I think the position of this guy can be perfectly fine. Even if I see that my position, wait, my position is not bad. My position seems to be okay, huh? Okay, but yeah, I have reset the position. We are on the dummy database, so we are on the right database. Okay, let me try again. I can also restart the client just to be sure, but yeah. Can restart the client to be sure that we are not messing up. But there is something else, you know, that is preventing us to do the... You want to know if the cows are still in the co-place or if they are moved. They should be in the co-place. You mean in the ranch? They are inside the ranch, I think. Yes. Absolutely. I think they are there. You see that now it's loading? So it's not... From here it's not crashing. This guy looks like me, by the way. Is this guy my brother? I don't know, it looks like me. We seem. Why such a low quality? Why is so low quality? Do you think he's using LOD? Do you think he's using LOD? Maybe. I mean, that would be very stupid if he's using the LOD because we are far away. Because actually we are far away, right? But if he's using the LOD because we are far away, it sounds a bit silly. I can go there again. It looks, you see that the graphics are very low, like the texture is super low. And I don't know why. And now that I go close to him, the texture is good. You see? So, holy moly. That is a problem. Why is wow. So it seems that he's using the LOD it looks like he's using the LOD. Hello? Who joined? Oh, Unreal Engine is raiding us with 215 people. Hello, people. Hello. Thank you for joining, and thank you to Unreal Engine for raiding us. Sorry, I've been tryharding a bit this, but thank you. Thank you, everyone. And welcome. Hello, Victor, Unreal Engine. It's nice to see you people. So just a brief introduction of what we are doing since you are here. And thank you for all the follows. So we are a small organization which is making games for fun in our spare time. And actually we are making an MMO. The MMO is called Plane Shift, and let me see if I can show you another place of the city before you leave. And we are developing this game since a long time. We did it with another engine, and now we are porting everything to Unreal. And this is part of the city. Hello to everyone following. Thank you for the follows. So this is a part of the city, and it is our character. We are using ALS, the Advanced Locomotion System, for the character. As you can see, it's moving fairly well, and we have dismantling capabilities. We have a lot done for the project, so we already have the inventory system, and we have quest, and you can actually speak with NPC, and you can trade with NPC. Yeah, this guy looks a bit like me, but it's just because we are running on the test database. You can trade with them, you can manage your items, do quests and fight, and you can cast spells. So there is already quite a bunch of stuff, you know, that is available in the game. In particular, today I'm streaming pretty much every day. My mother language is Italian. I'm Italian. So we are streaming pretty much every day since quite some time. And today we were working on pets. Pets are these little guys that, like this guy, that you can summon, right? Now the UI is still a bit to complete, but basically you can summon a pet like this guy that you can see it, and this guy will follow you around, right? So he's using obviously pathfinding of Unreal Engine to follow you, but this guy can also do other stuff. So you can, for example, you can ask him to eat something, or to stay and follow you. And so what we are doing, we are basically increasing the capabilities of this guy. So I can put some food next to him, and I can ask him to eat, and as you can see, he's eating the stuff, right? So we want to expand pets to be very useful in the game. So we want to have the pets grow in size and be able to do all the things that you see here, like learning some locations, recognizing phrases, and yes, previously we were on Crystal Space 3D, which was an engine made by a Belgian guy, but the engine unfortunately was born around year 2000, 2001. Has been good until 2006, 7, and then it started to lose a bit of attraction. And we also contributed to the engine quite a bit on our side, and but then we had to let it go. I mean, it was too old, it was hard to maintain on multi-platforms and such. And so at a certain point we decided to jump on Unreal Engine when they made the engine free. We were actually an open source game. We are not open source today, but we were open source with the previous engine, and a lot of the server code that we developed is very similar to the old one. So yeah, so we have about, I think, 300,000 lines of code at the moment. They were like 1 million in the old game, 1.2 millions I think in the old game. But considering the old game, a lot was done manually. So a lot of the stuff that now the engine is doing for Unreal Engine is doing for us, we had to do it manually. Just to give you an idea, we programmed our own windowing system in the old game, right? And now we can just use the UMG of Unreal, right? So we are using a bit of C++ and blueprints at the same time, and depending on the usage. So now what I was trying to do, I was trying to understand why the camera, which is actually pointing to this guy, which is a scene render target located in a specific remote region in our world. Hello Bokun and everyone else that follow, thank you a lot for the follows. So we have this remote region where we spawn the pet. Now for some reason when I had the pet here, the previous one, it was not doing this. So I don't know if the LOD is forced on the render target or not. Or maybe it's just the fact that the Yulbar has some LOD and the Groffel doesn't. I mean, the two, because we use two different creatures, right? Maybe. Let me check if this may be the thing. Maybe one has LOD and the other does not have LOD. Possible? I don't know. We will find out. In theory, it should look like this. I mean, the texture is not the best because also the texture is a bit old, but it should at least look like this, right? I don't know if the LOD are automatically generated for this guy or not. But no, it's saying number of LOD 1, right? So it should have only an LOD 0. The other guy was this one. I can switch to this guy and see if it makes a difference. I can switch to this other guy. There is the other pet. And also this one is saying LOD 0 and number of LOD 1. So, so we need to find out what is wrong. Okay, so you know what we will do? I think we will just change the race and see if this race is working differently. Because before I had the render target set up in another way. I had the camera, I had an actor which was static. So basically I had this guy physically put in here like this. It was the other guy though. And it was this one. And putting him like this, it was actually showing with the best LOD. Then I made it dynamic. So I decided to have just a placeholder. And now I'm loading from the database, you know, the information. And I'm setting that character on the fly. But this seems that it gave the problem of the LOD, so that the quality seems to be lower. The meep map of the texture, yeah, that could be as well. We can check if maybe one has no meep maps and the other has it, but I don't know. I don't know. Hey, thank you for the follow, SVNSTN. Thank you. If you have any questions, I mean, don't be shy. I mean, feel free to ask any questions about the game, about what we are doing. Is no problem. I think the meep maps are here somewhere, right? No meep maps. Yeah, this one is no meep maps generated. Let me see if the other guy has meep maps. But then if he has, the question I think is, why is calculating the distance from my player character and not the distance from the render target? Where was the no meep maps thingy? Was level of detail, no meep maps. Level of detail, yeah, from texture group. Yeah. That's a difference. So they actually have different settings. Yes, they have different settings for sure. So now the question is the following. If I am here in my world, right? So let's say that this is the top view of all our world, right? And there is this remote location where I have set up my render target for that particular character. And my character, my player is here, right? For some reason, the engine is considering that since I'm very far, is applying meep maps to that thingy. But actually, is the camera looking at it? No, it's not me. So, I don't know if it's a setting on the camera itself. Like I can disable But I think that's the difference, huh? That one character is having meat maps and the other not. So there is in rendering features advanced, there is a MIP blend, MIP scale, MIP threshold, but I think I would like to have LOD. I would like to LOD detail mode, capture component 2D, detail mode low. Maybe it's this one, huh? Maybe it's this one. If the detail mode is greater than the system detail mode, primitive don't render. You wanted to ask how many devs are working on this and how you manage the team? Yeah, on the website there is a bit, but consider that, yeah, we are doing this in a spare time. So I mean, we try to be as professional as we can in what we do, but it's not that easy. So the website is a bit outdated, just to say. But yeah, at the moment we are on the engine side is basically me at the moment. Artist, we have one person that is very active on the artist side. We have 2 people on the rules. We have let's say 3 people between rules and settings. We have one very active game master, which is game mastering the old game still, because the old game is on, so you can download it right now if you want and try it. And then we have a number of people that are, you know, interested. Sometimes they contribute maybe some ideas, some stuff, but yeah, I mean, we definitely need more people as usual. Do you think is this detail mode? The problem is that it's saying that if the detail mode is greater, the primitive will not render. So I fear that if I scale the distance used by LOD, set the value greater than 1 to cause the scene capture to use lower LOD than the main view. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Should we Google and hope? So Unreal MIP maps. So our problem are MIP maps through scene render. Scene render target disable MIP maps low LOD something, I don't know. Blurry texture materials and MIP maps. My problem is that it happens only through the scene render target. Doesn't seem that the internet really likes this. Scene render 2D. Scene render target 2D. Set force mipmap level. I mean, I can disable it on the character, but it's a bit of a pity because then when that character will be far away, he will use more memory. I mean, it's only a character, but I don't know if it will work also with LOD, but I think that the same principle will probably apply also with LOD, right? So since I'm far from the render scene, is looking kind of bad. We can try to change this setting. What is the system detail mode? Okay, let's try to put it too high and see what happens. Okay. One is under capture component 2D. Okay, high. I hope that high is doing what we want. Basically, we want in that camera to always render as high, right? That is what we want to do. And I hope that high is doing what we need. The only thing I see is that it's saying if it's higher than the system detail level. A lot of bong jigs. Thank you for the follow. If you have any question of any kind, please go on. So let me save this. So what we are doing, we are substituting this empty actor with the correct, let's say, path coming from the loading in the database, and such, and based on what is the path of that particular character we are loading in. And we are substituting it on the fly, right? So it's basically spawning client side that actor. The problem that we have is that that scene is very far away from us, and it seems that the engine is then applying a meep map, a lower meep map, like if the creature is far away from us, which is kind of weird. If any one of you has suggestion, by the way, there is a view of the city from the top. I don't need to spawn it, by the way, because it's the same. You see that he's using the low version, and if I teleport next to him, if I teleport myself to that location, which is this thing, as soon as I teleport there, so I'm just taking the coordinates because I don't have a spot predefined there, so I need to go by coordinates. So if I teleport next to him, and so now I'm close to him, I'm in a place where the player in theory should never be, but I'm there. You see that now the texture is higher quality. Can we disable the LOD only for that particular creature? I mean, for this instance of... Can we disable the map maps only for this instance of the creature? Maybe we can. Maybe it's this one. No? I want to force specific map map. Force higher quality map map. If I can do it in blueprints, will be a bit better. If not, I can also do it C++, but let me try to do it. Let me try to check what we can get of this material. So where we are doing the work is here. Okay, so we are getting the path list. We are getting the first path. Hello, Pulsar. Pulsarp. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. So so let me see if I can get the material, because this is returning as an actor object reference, right? Can I get from him the hello, can I get from here the materials? And why I cannot? I need to get the mesh. I need to get the main. I can cast it to. Let me just do one thing quickly. Let me cast this to our PS character BP, and let me then from here get the mesh. I should be able to get the main mesh. Yes, and from the mesh, let me get the material. And from the material, for now, let's say material 0. Okay, just an example, just to see if I can disable the meep maps or not. So we will just get the material, and now I have a material interface. Okay, our meep maps. Hello, Toon Polly. Welcome. Welcome. Sorry, my face was stuck. The webcam was stuck, and so my face was not tracked. So let me see if I can from here. Do I have anything meep maps? No, but I think if I get from the material, basically the level of the material is this one, right? Is this one. From this, because the meep map is on the texture. The meep map is on the texture. So I think I need to, but I cannot get it. So is the brush, it's called the brush, right? It's called the brush. Make brush for material, set brush resolution for material. No, I need, let me check all the functions for materials. Get base material, no. Get dynamic material instance, no. Get physical material. If this is material, I think this is a material instance, but I think this will not make any difference. So how can I manipulate this texture? Can I? I think we, I don't know. I think I mean, from the material I don't see any meep map options, right? I don't see any meep map options here. Maybe I can do this. I can remove context sensitive and see all the meep. Get enable meep map generation, get the number of meep maps, set it at meep map alpha. But I don't see any. Maybe I have to do it in C++. Okay, I think we can leave it like this for now. It's a bit annoying, but I think I can leave it for like this for now. I can disable on our, we only have 2 pet creatures at the moment. I think it will remain, you know, something to solve, but I don't think I want to solve it now. So I will disable. I will put no meep maps on this texture. So this will basically remove the meep maps, and so now I think it will look okay. And then I will keep a note of the fact that we need to fix it. Because I don't think it's worth to go that deep, you know, into optimizations right now. Mainly also only for this creature. I think if it's only for this creature, there's no meep maps, who cares, you know? So I think it's perfectly fine. And then we will see. Yes, I'm flying. And then we will see what to do. Okay. So I want to continue with the other features, and we will leave this one. Is the server stuck or what? Interesting. Anyway, I can just quit, and anyway we save my position. Okay, so let me save it like this. As soon as the client decides that he can quit. Doesn't want to. Okay, now he wants. And Okay. So and we fixed it this way for now. So now we will look okay. So basically, yes, we did this task. So we finished present the proper 3D model. And yeah. Now, what's next? What's next? I think it will be nice. Well, about the pet answering my questions, I think he's at the moment he's answering simple questions, right? So if I now, do we want to have a context menu? I think we want to have a context menu for the pet. So we want to be able to speak with the pet, and so we need a context menu. The context menu is based on the type of object that we are receiving from the server. And so based on the type of object, we are generating different context menu when you right click. So I think that the logic is inside game, Windows, Interact UI. So it's inside this thing, and which is our context menu. And there should be a place which I think is here. Set up buttons for Interact UI. Yes, I think it should be here, or no, here. So based on the type of object that you are right clicking on, so if it's an NPC, if it's a player, if it's an item, if it's an interactable location, or if it's an emotes, we present a different menu. Now, at the moment for NPC, we are presenting the same menu. So we need to differentiate for pets. I think today we don't allow to right click on pets. So I think this object type, let me see where this is coming from. This is probably coming from the yeah, it's coming from here. Show interact window. Okay. And hello Martin6, welcome, thank you for the follow. So the show interact window, is coming from here. Well, it's coming from different places actually, but it's basically coming from the right click, right? And the right click is this one, action input, right click, or if you press E on the keyboard, which is pretty much the same. And at the moment we have player, NPC. Here it is, pet. Pet is number 2. And at the moment probably pet is doing nothing. Yes. Interact type not yet supported. Exactly. So at the moment this is going nowhere, so we need to implement it. Okay. I'm just checking default pickup, default talk. Because yes, we are trying to understand if there is a default as well. And the default is if you press E on the keyboard. And at the moment, I think we are checking the default only for the one that we are managing. Which means the item on the ground, an NPC, or a player. Yes. So we need to do that. Unfortunately, this graph is a bit of a mess. But it's just because it's complex, because we have a lot of stuff done here. But the idea will be to duplicate this branch. And I think I will need a bit of space, but I think you know what we can do? We can go all the way. We can go all the way here, and so we have a bit of a space down here. We will need to have a branch. And the condition will be the same. If the character has pressed on E or not. And in case it's true, I think that the default should be to speak, right? So I think will be this, yeah, default talk. I think will be exactly like this one. So I think we can reuse this piece and say also for the pet, if you are pressing E, by default you are speaking with him, right? And if not, we want to show an interact window, and the interaction window will be, in this case, interact pet, which you see we don't have, so we need to add it, right? We need to add it to the object types that we manage. Action location flag, I think, is all empty. Selected object, we need it, so I think I need to do something like this and connect the selected object down here. And yeah, and it is the area dedicated to pets. Okay, so let's expand this object type. Now, expanding this object type will probably break the messages that we have at the moment. And yes, we need to have it on, I think it's on player control. No, it's on W container. Okay, let me take this one and put it here. Okay, so now we're going to expand this object type, which is interact UI. So I think we have it under data types. Interact, yes. So we're going to expand this enumeration, and we're going to add a new value, and we're going to call it interact pet, right? I think the description can be exactly the same as, description can be exactly the same as the value. Yes, I need to check out this one. Yeah, because we are connected to Subversion for the source control. So what we want to do now, we want to select pet. It didn't refresh it yet for some reason. Okay, now it's there. I just had to recompile, and now we can see it. And so we will go with pet. And then we enter here, we send, yes, the object type, and we do the setup. And here in the setup, we will have now a new value, as you can see, which is pet, which we can place, I don't know, up there. We can go up. Let's go up. We go up, and here we need to set up the different menus. Now, for now, I think we can keep it simple, and we can have storage, banking, trainers, loot, all of that we don't need. Attack, I would say no. So I think we will have talk, and maybe give item. I think give item would be nice, because if we can trade with him, I'm just thinking if we should trade, interacting with the slots dedicated to items, or if we should trade just with the standard exchange window, right? The one that we have for the NPC. That I don't know. For now, let's put this one for sure. So the talk interaction, which is the one that we are interested at the moment. We will put the close as well, because we need to be able to close that window. And I don't know if we have a trade. We have storage, banking, sell and buy interaction. I think we have the trade with players. So I will put the trade window for now, and we will see how to use it. Okay. Let me see what we had in the old game. In the old game we had dismiss, give. Yes, we had a give. We had a give and we had a talk. I mean, was the give working in the old game? I mean, could you really give items to your pet or not? That would be interesting to know. I can test it. Okay, so basically we are connecting this. So I'm expecting now. So context menu. So this will be context menu for pets, right? The icons will be the same, the commands will be the same. So in theory, our code is already aware of this. The only thing I don't know is if I can actually right click on the guy. You never used it, Hula? Okay. So I don't know if he's doing something. I mean, now we should use it to actually give him items if you want him to carry items for us, right? Okay, let's try like this and see what happens. Basically what I'm expecting now is if I right click on him, a menu should appear. And if we can go to the talk, yeah, the problem I think is that it doesn't have a camera set up, because as you know, all our characters have a camera set up in front of them, which is the talking camera. And I think unfortunately this guy will not have it. So like this guy, I think it's actually set up. I don't remember if we set it up dynamically. Probably we set it up dynamically, right? I don't remember based on what, but I think based on the height of the character. Or probably based on the height of the player. I didn't save W container, by the way. I need to save that, otherwise it will not work. Because if we want to speak, the problem is that if we speak with the guy that is basically at the ground floor, I don't know if the camera will go down. So we need to check it. By the way, if you are new to the stream, guys, it would be nice if you can click on follow and we will see each other again. Obviously, if you like developing video games and if you like developing MMO. Also, if you have any questions on the game or in general on Unreal, or if you want to tell us what you are doing with Unreal, would be nice as well. Like just to know if you are a developer yourself. Probably yes, because you were coming from the Unreal Engine stream. So just to know if you are developing something or if you are developing video games, or maybe many of you do it as a job, which is great as well. In our case, we are doing it a bit as a hobby, even if myself I've been, programming for most of my life. So I cannot call myself a professional developer, but I did it for so long time that Hello, Piotrek. Um, Disabling meetups or streaming, especially in open world game. Yeah, the problem is that in this case, you know, what we are trying to, where we are trying to disable the meep maps is on a UI. UI as a render scene render target, which is just showing our character. So it's like the inventory system. Imagine that it is your character, no? It is the inventory system. The problem is that it seems that the scene render target, since it's very far away from us, is thinking that it should lower the quality, and so it's actually lowering the quality of the capture. So I was thinking that it would take the distance from the camera and not the distance from me, but it's actually taking the distance from me. So it's taking the distance from my camera, from my player camera, so which is this one that I'm moving. Okay, instead of taking the distance from the camera target, which is what I'm confused. Maybe it's a setting, maybe it's something else, I don't know. But for now I just disabled the meep maps on this guy. And that's it. Okay, let's summon the guy. So now he's summoned, is there, waiting for us. Let me try to right click. Ah, okay, so the context menu now is working. So we can trade, we can talk, and we can close the menu. So as you can see, our system is already aware of him being an actor, and is already aware of him being a pet. Now I have no idea if I click on talk what is gonna happen. Okay. So we are going at this level. Okay, it's okay. I think it's not too bad. So yes, there is an automatic camera which is auto-generated for all the characters. And I think in this case it's taking the height of the pet. Okay. So at the moment, this guy is not saying anything because we didn't teach him any phrases. So he's basically not answering with anything. But we have a way to teach him something, which is actually this. And so let's say that we just say hello, right? And he has five possible answers. Hello, Shiro. Welcome, welcome. Oh, by the way, since we have 66 people connected, most of them from Twitch, I want to see what happens if I connect the little avatars. Let's see what happens. I never did it with 66 people. Let me see what happens. I want to see it. I want to see a million of avatars running around the screen. Let's do this. Let's do this. I think it will go crazy. I think there is a maximum of like 80. I think the maximum supported is like 80 people. Let me see what happens. Let me put for a second. Let me put for a second a black screen and see what happens. I want to see this. Wow, look at that. Oh my god, it's so many people. Oh my god, look at this. Look at all of you, boys. Look at all of you. There is not enough space. Summon the boss. I don't think that these people are active. I mean, some of them are active, but I don't think we can. Oh my god, look at that. Look at the number of people. I think we can change the wait. Let me change a bit. Where is it? This is pretty funny. This is pretty fun. Let me add a bit of more possibilities, okay? Otherwise otherwise it will be very hard for you. You will be all staying in the same place. Ah. Oh my god. Okay, okay, okay. I give you space to walk. I give you space to walk, boys. Go. Populate the world. It's like puzzle. It's like a puzzle bubble, you know, where you have populate the world. Oh my god, you are millions. I think we never had so many people on stream, so I think it's kind of funny. But I think I can put as much as I want. You will still use the world space, you know. I can put 1,000,000 of these planes, and you will still use all the possible space, right? This reminds me a bit of Burger King. Burger King the game, which probably none of you knows what is it, because you are not as old as me, but look at that, it's beautiful. Ah, I love it. Oh my god. There is so many people. Now you don't see anymore what I'm doing. I know. You don't see anymore what I'm doing in Unreal, but I think it's pretty fun. Wait. There is a hole here. Let me connect everything. Oh, I want a screenshot of this. I will take a screenshot of this. I want it. Look at you, beautiful people. I cannot show you the screenshot because if I put the screenshot here, it will look all double for you. So, but I will keep it. Save as. I will save it. Unreal mission. No, Unreal lot of people. No, I will say stream. Lot of people. Lot of people. .png. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea, because now you are all over the screen. I can still try to. I mean, I don't see you when I develop, so for me it's not a problem. But if I put the code on, you will not be really able to see what is going on. Oh my god, it's working very well anyway. Let me see how much CPU is taking, or GPU is taking. It's taking very little GPU. It's taking 2% GPU and 7% CPU. So, regardless of the number of people, it's still very it's still not that heavy. Look at you guys. You are 1,000,000 of people. Yeah, it was nice to meet you as well, Pulsar. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. I'm gonna go on for a bit more. Usually I stream between 9:30 European time and 12:30 in the evening. So that's usually my time. And then during the weekends, I tend to stream more. So like on Saturday and Sunday, I tend to stream also during the day, depending a bit what else I have to do. But so yeah, if you want, you can come back another time and we can chat about game development. Yes, those are the people from the stream. So if you speak, you can also customize your avatar. So if you click on the link that Hula just sent, I think Hula sent the link, yes, the stream avatar extension. If you click there, you can customize your avatar and you can change like your clothes, like your weapon, your helmet, and a bunch of other stuff. So this is fairly cool anyway. There is a guy named Roshan. Ah no, Rosharn. Okay, because Roshan is the Dota boss. Okay, let's try to move on. Anyway, we can right click on our pets, which is very nice, and we can speak with them, which is very nice. So I was saying, if I teach him something, so for example, if I teach him to answer to a question, right? I say hello, and he can say, hi, hi, my, I don't know, hi, let's say one is hi, the other is, hi, my owner, are you my owner, are you my owner? Another one will be hello, and another one will be, it's me, and the other one, are you really trying to speak with me? Okay, so if we teach this to our pet, in theory, apart from the fact that this should go away, and I think that now is never going away because I didn't implement it yet, but if we speak with him and we say hello, now this window is nicely on top. Fuck, I cannot remove it. Okay, but if we say hello, yes, he actually answered. Now we cannot see it because it's below this. But he actually answered, because you see that I have a button to click, so I think he answered. Let me see if he answered in the, yeah, you see in the chat he answered with it's me, right? So every time he will probably answer something different. Yes. So now he answered, hi, are you my owner? So this thing is actually working. So teaching phrases to the pet is actually working, and also speaking with him is kind of working. I just need to better manage this window. I think this window should probably become one of the standard window that we manage with our window manager. At the moment, this window is just a one-off, so I just generate it like this in a very simple way. We should probably make it a real window. Also, I think that when you click on teach, this window should disappear. That's probably the easiest we can do, right? We can just make it disappear temporarily and see. Okay, let me do that. So that window is, that window, would you like to apply? I never understood what this phrase means because I don't have a master material. I don't understand what this thing means. I don't know if it's generic. Ah, yes, I cannot save now because I'm in the game. So I need to close it. What we can do, we can close the window at least, at the minimum, right? That window is called, is a UI, main menu, no, UI in-game widgets. At the moment we have like something like 35 windows, so we already have so much, but this one is called, I think it's called pet input or something. Pet phrases, this one. Pet phrases. What we can do when we click on teach is to remove the window. That would be like the minimum we can do. So we can just do remove from parent, and that's it. Now, we will be able to see better if he actually answers. Now, one thing that I think he will answer in the chat, he will probably not answer in the bubble. The reason he's not answering in the bubble is because at the moment the code is not generating a menu. right? Because our answers also have menus. I have to remember. I think from Pet Manager, if I search, I don't know if it's setup dialog. Yeah, setup dialog for event. Okay, this one. This one is generating this. But I don't think that this one is populating the menu. Just to explain you a second, because otherwise you will go like, what? So whenever we are speaking with an NPC, so imagine that we have the NPC here, okay? And we are speaking with him. We have on the left, on the right, all the possibilities that you can use to speak with him. And so here there will be the different predefined phrases. Plus you have one here at the top, which is free text. So you can basically type whatever you want in natural language, and we are trying to parse it and in his brain and to give you an answer. On the left, you have something like this. Which I think I cannot flip, probably. I can, wow. You have this thing where he's speaking to you. So you basically on the right, you click and you say something to him. On the left, he answers. Now, this answer, I think, I'm not completely sure. I mean, these ones on the right for sure require a menu setup. This one on the left, I don't remember if they have a specific structure to no. I remember now because I changed it. Too many avatars, we cannot see anything. Yes, okay, let's do this. I will put them all back to the bottom of the screen. But I think it was fun for a second. Too many avatars. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna destroy the floor so that all the avatars are going to fall on the ground. Except I think the part on the left. I think the part on the left is good. So all the avatars are gonna fall. Bloom, 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 bloom. They're gonna fall on the ground. All of them. And I'm also going to remove this and this. I think it was fun for a bit, but now yes, it's starting to be impossible to look at the stream, right? I think it's probably impossible to look at the stream. Okay, so now it should be better. Now it should be better. Collision, delete. Still a lot of people. I think if we ever become a popular stream, you know, we will have to disable this because it's too many. It's really too many. I think the limit is 80. Probably. Okay, so this one was not supposed to go there. Okay, I think it's fine now, right? I think you can see now. So what I was saying is that on the left, in case you didn't see this, on the left we have the NPC answering. Now that I remember, though, I did a bit of a shortcut. So because I wanted to see the answer from the NPC, I went into... Now, the problem is finding it. But you know what? I think if I do this, I will find it easy. Yes. Yes. I will find it very easy. Local variables. Disable. Take configuration. Owner session. Yes, this one. If he's a pet, just respond. Okay, this one, I think I added it just to test, and it was actually working okay. But I think in this case, we can go back and remove it. Now that I added the interactive right click, and yes, it will go into the array. I think that now, you know what? I think that now it will work. We can see, I think we will probably be able to see the answer. I think we will probably be able to see the answer. I just need to recompile this. By the way, guys, thank you for staying on the stream. I see that many of you are still here. So thank you for that. There is a new game free on the Epic Store. Looks like. Should we get it? I mean, thank you for staying on the stream and not leaving, because usually when there is a raid, you know, the majority of the people are leaving. And it's okay. I mean, it's usually you're watching something else, you know, you get a raid and you leave. But I see that many of you are still here watching, so thank you for that. Where is the free game? Ah, this one, Surviving Mars. From now to the 18th of March. Okay. The time has come to stake your claim on the red planet. I think we can get it since it's free. Thank you, Moonlight. See you soon. Okay, I just got this game that was free, whatever. Did you finish compiling? Yes, it finished compiling. Okay, so I think that now, if we test it again, when I right-click on the pet and I speak with him, I think that we should get the answer directly on the UI. I kind of like the fact that when you speak with him, you go down at his level. So like you go down at his level to speak. I think that's kind of funny. But I think it's caused by the way we set up the cameras. Okay. So let's try to summon the guy. And let's try to teach him something. Unfortunately, at the moment, the teaching is not yet stored in the database. So they are all these this thing is not permanent, but I will make it permanent. So, and also I will make a list of all the stuff that he already learned, so you can see all the answers that he can. So the question will be. Who are you? Who are you? And the answer will be, I'm your familiar. I'm a Yulbar. A proud race of things with tails. Will be, I'm a small but very fun guy. Tell me who you are first, then we will say, and none of your business. Okay, then we teach him that. Now the window is closing as well, which is nice. Now we try to speak with him. Ah, okay. Yes, my character should probably disappear when we're speaking with him. So if I say, who are you? Fuck, it's not appearing here. Pity. It's not working with multi-words, so let me see if he went to the... He didn't go to the... He didn't go to the thing. I mean, this time I made it a bit more complex, so it may be that... I think actually he didn't find... I think actually he didn't find the trigger. I think he didn't find the trigger in the brain of the NPC. Let me try again with a simple... Hello, 1, 2, 3. I cannot type all of that again. Okay, teach. Did he just with the simple hello? Yes. So I think we have a prop. So if it's a simple word, it gets it. If it's not, it doesn't. Now the question is why? Let me try with who are. Let me try with who are. But no, who are is not working as well. I think it's not getting the complex ones. I don't know if the fact that I'm using a local dictionary is making a difference, because actually I'm using in his brain. In his brain there is a local dictionary which I decided to split from the global dictionary that, for example, that guy at the back has. You see, this guy is getting it. So if I ask him, who are you, he's actually answering. So the problem we have is, and I think that, let me check, because who are you, here we have all the debug basically, and who are you is translated into about you, and about you is then translated into a trigger, and he's answering, I'm just a simple peasant. But with our guy, it would be interesting to debug this brain and see what he has in his brain. Because yeah, because at the moment we don't know what he knows. We don't know what he knows. So I'm not sure that... I mean, hello is obviously working. The parentheses are because I'm a game master and the game master are getting additional information, but in this case it's empty. The normal player will just see the answer, right? The problem is that he's getting this one, but is not getting the who are you. He's not getting the who are you, is not getting the who are you with question mark. So basically that phrase was stored in his brain in a way that he cannot find it. Because you see that Melare checking trigger Wario. Recognizing phrases in Wario, he recognized two terms, who and har, right? Which are the important ones. So he excluded the question mark and he excluded the U, which is usually something that is irrelevant compared to the question. But wait. We have a last response. He's trying with the last response. I think I know why. What is the tiger? The tiger is me. It's me, look. I move my head to the left. I move my head to the right. I look up. I look down. I bring my tongue out. It's me. What do you mean? It's me. I'm like this. It's actually me. Okay, so I think that the problem we have here is that when I coded the answers, I coded it in a bit of a simpler way. Maybe it was not a good idea, but if we go in dictionary, I don't remember if it's in PS and PC. No, I should be in dictionary actually. No, maybe it's in. Yes, it's here. So when we are finding a response, you see, I'm saying if he's a pet, just use the local search. So no quest, no priors, no anything. The problem of this, I think, is that even if we go through this code, I think we need to launch it in debug mode and see what happens, because I think this find response is failing. And in reality, as you can see here, the normal NPC are doing way more, right? Are doing all of this. Are doing all of this. I'm just wondering why. I'm just wondering why in the debug we have a prior, a last response. You see, last response 1001. So it's like he's trying to connect the previous. Because okay, let me see if the -1 works. Okay, I think I can destroy him. If I unsummon, he will be destroyed. And when I summon him again, he will be recreated basically. So the whole character, including his brain, is recreated. And if I speak with him now and I say hello, in theory he should not answer. Exactly. Because his brain is clean, right? He has nothing in his mind. So let me try to do again the who are you? And let me just do test. And teach him. And then let me try to speak. And say, who are you? And I want to see if in the debug here, in the debug here, he always has a last response. Why always saying last response 1001? I think this is our problem because he's trying to search it with a specific last response. I don't understand. NPC check-in Melare for trigger war. Yes, but it's not gonna work. It's this line. NPC checking blah blah blah. You know, but why but anyway, I'm forcing -1, huh? I'm forcing -1. So in reality it's printing 1001, but it's forcing -1. Okay, I think we need to debug this. There is no way. There is no way I'm going to understand it just by looking at the result. So I need to launch the server in debug mode, and we will keep this breakpoint. And when we arrive here, we will check what is going on. But yes, the tiger on screen is syncing my eyes. So if I close my eyes like this, it's syncing my lips. Not very good, I have to say, but anyway, it's trying to sync my lips and the movement of my head and the tongue. That is what it's doing. Okay, the server is started and is in debug mode. So what we want to do, we want to check. I was thinking for giving items, what we can do, we can use the same trade mechanism that we have with the other NPC, with the difference that the trade item will go, it will auto accept and it will go in his inventory. And then to drop it, I think, I don't know, to drop it, I don't know, or to pick it up, I don't know. I have to think about it. Okay, now we are in debug mode. And yeah, so there are some breakpoints, sometimes is stopping there. So let's summon our guy. So now he's here. So I don't know if we want to debug the teaching or we want to debug the response. I think that we should assume for now that the teaching is fine, and we will just try to debug the response. Even if I will be very interested to know which kind of trigger is storing when there are multiple words. Yeah, I think we need to check also the teach. The teach is add phrase. Is doing this, and then is going into setup for event. And here we are loading the triggers, and here we are doing the link. So in reality, everything happens here in this function. Everything happens in this function. And here is where we are loading the new trigger. Yeah, let's try to put a breakpoint here and try to teach him something. Again, we will try with a multi-world and see. So let's stick on who are you, okay? So we don't change the test case. And this will be test. And we go teach. Okay, so now we arrive. Okay, we arrive here. But then we arrive here. Okay, and then we arrive here. Okay, I want to see inside this load what we are actually doing. And basically nothing. We are just putting the trigger text, so it's nothing. So here we are putting the whole thing. We are putting who are you, right? The whole thing. We are putting the whole phrase. I don't know if it's the right way though, because I don't think if that's the way we want it. Because I think that the problem is that if we put it that way, so with the full phrase, which is not parsed yet, I think add words is adding in only the recognized words, yes. And so this one now is a bit long to debug, but basically is, yes, phrases. So he added who, and then he will add are, and these are the two keywords that he will recognize. Now the problem is when is trying to recognize it, right? What will happen? That I think is the question. Is inserting the new trigger, and you see that the new trigger, yeah, we cannot see it because it's a bit of a complex structure, but it's basically loading the trigger properly, but is loading it with a full, right, with a full phrase. Obviously now our client timed out, but it's fine. We can reconnect and resummon our guy. Okay. So let's go with Wario again, and this time I will not stop on the teach, so I will just let it go, because we know now how it is stored, right? But we will stop on the search. So when we speak with him and we say, who are you? We want to check the find response, right? Yes, here, define response. Define response trigger. I want to see what comes on this trigger, but my feeling is that this trigger will come already pre-parsed, and so I will not find it for that reason, because I think I'm missing a step. Okay, we are here. Let me check what is the trigger. You see, the trigger is who are. So I don't think he's never gonna find it. Because we stored it full. And I think we stored it full because I probably shrink too much what we are doing with this NPC. Because this one will, I think, will never find anything. Yeah. This will never find anything. Okay. Okay, I think this is fine. What is going on? Why we came there like 1 million times. But anyway, timed out. This is not a very easy problem to fix, but I think the way to fix it is just to ensure that this guy is working exactly like the other NPC for storing, because for reading seems to be okay. He's searching exactly what we need him to search. For storing, though, is not doing what we want. He's not doing what we want. We can but wait a second. Wait a second. Ha. Yeah. I think I know the issue. The issue is that in reality, we are never storing the full also with the other NPC because in our data is not there. That's the problem. So basically, just to explain you, the way we generate triggers in quests and in knowledge areas and in all those places is by already filtering the worlds. So actually, if I go, let me try to go in. Where can I find the? I think is in NPC triggers, right? If I go in NPC triggers, yeah, you see, these ones are never using exclamation marks and that stuff. Yes. So the problem is the input. So or we pre-parse it ourselves, or we have to teach the people how to do it. Because let me show you the thing. Let me show you the thing. If you do it the proper way, so if you are aware of the problem, let me see if my theory is correct, but I think it is. If you are aware of the problem, like I am now, and I'm summoning my little guy, and I'm teaching him something. When I'm teaching him something, I cannot teach him who are you? I mean, written this way. What I can teach him is about you. And about you, by our dictionary, is already... yeah, I think so. Let me try about you, okay? Let me try about you. And let me try to store it the proper way. And let me try to speak with this guy now. And let me go, who are you? Who are you? Come on. No, I didn't answer. Why didn't answer? Let me try, tell me about you. Yeah, you see? Tell me, I don't know why, who are you, he didn't, but probably because we are in the dummy database. The dummy database is pretty stupid, so he has very little, but you see that I asked him, tell me about you, and he actually answered. Because the way you are defining the trigger is the key. Now, players will never know this. So if they use, let me explain you again. If they, when you teach him, if you are using any of the insignificant words in the trigger, there will be a problem, right? And but how do our scripters know? I mean, the people that are doing this work, right? How do they know? I think we had a guide on this, right? Did we had a guide one time for scripting quest, for scripting answers and stuff? I think we had. NPC dialogues? No. I think maybe it's an internal document, but we, in theory, there was a way that people knew. Because if I go in the production database and I look at this, you see this table NPC triggers is very, very simple, right? And NPC synonyms is very, very simple. But for example, greetings, right? Bonjour is greeting. So let me try to teach him greetings. The problem is this: if I teach him bonjour, he will not get greetings. But if I teach him greetings, he will get bonjour. Right? So that's the thing. So the problem is that the player will never notice, and he will be super confused of what is working and what is not working. Because if I teach him greetings and I say thanks, greetings to you, hello, hi, salut, and the entry point is greetings, right? And I teach him this, and then I speak with him and I say bonjour. In theory, you should pick up the synonyms. It didn't. It didn't. It's kind of strange though. He's not recognizing bonjour. But I need to disable this breakpoint for a second, I guess. Yeah, let me disable it. It's annoying. But if I go to this guy, I think the problem is that the dictionary, if I go to this guy and I say bonjour, assuming that bonjour is spelled right, you see, he answers. So so the synonyms are loaded inside the dictionary. This can be an issue. The synonyms are no, but the synonym should be global, no? I think because now I have normal NPC, right? And normal NPC, and I have pets, right? with a tail. I don't know, with a and pets, right? And for pets, I'm using a simplified version of our dialogue system. You may ask why, and it's a very good question. There are reasons for that, but I'm using a simplified dialogue system. Now, in the brain of this guy, assuming there is a brain, and the brain of this guy are different, because this brain is basically containing only what we teach him. The brain of this guy is containing basically the whole database of answers. Well, he has access to the whole database of answers. I was thinking, but you know, the difference between these two is that the one on the left has its own, what we call knowledge areas, KA, which is basically his own knowledge. Then he has potential quests, right? And then he has, you know, generic, or let's say public, let's call it public knowledge area. So for example, if he's a priest, he may know the stuff about religion, right? And it is the way we create the database in the mind of this guy. Now, for this little guy, is a bit, we created on the fly by teaching him. And we created on the fly by teaching him. And so he has its own KA, and plus he has the stuff that you teach him. Now, I was assuming though that the synonyms, and the trigger groups would be in common to the two brains. But it seems that for some reason, this one is not working. Because this guy doesn't understand bonjour, even if I put in his brain greetings, which is a synonym of bonjour. So it is making me wonder why. But we can find it out, because actually the synonyms are NPC synonyms, which is fairly easy to find. And we can check when these guys are loaded, load synonyms. We can check where they are going, but probably they are going inside a dictionary. So the question is, should I load? But then it starts to be a mess. Because if I start to load the synonym in every single pet, the reason I did it separate, which was to save performance, will go to shit. Will really go to shit. Where is putting this stuff, by the way? Yes, it's inside the dictionary. It's inside the dictionary. The synonyms are inside the dictionary. So yes, the synonyms at the moment are here. Synonyms. What? Synonyms. Synonyms? How do you say in English? Synonyms. Fuck. This was not something that I was expecting. This means that your pet is a bit stupid and doesn't understand bonjour. I mean, you can teach him bonjour if you want. But the problem is that we are not... So there are a number of limitations. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we don't need to make the pet dialogue, you know, the most important feature in the game. It's just something that we are doing for fun. So I think we can keep it. We can keep it relatively easy, right? And stupid. The way it's working at the moment is basically that. The only thing that I don't understand is why then it doesn't get the full. It doesn't get the full phrase, because I think if it can get the full phrase, will be better, right? Because at the moment, what is happening is that I'm teaching him. So let's say that this is teach and this is learn, right? So when I teach him, who are you? No, sorry. One is teach, and the other one is is understand, right? Or something. I don't know. Is understand. Understand when you are speaking with him. So if I store this in reality in his brain, we will get due to the parsing that we do, we will get only who are, because you and the question mark are removed, right? Yeah, this is what is happening. This is what is happening. In a normal NPC, right? In a normal NPC, in this brain, who are you? Thanks to the different words and synonym and database, will be automatically translated to who are. So I can disable. I think the easiest for the player is for me to disable the parsing, so that if you said who are you, I mean, I can remove the punctuation. That's fairly easy. But basically, if you teach him who are you, he must understand who are you, right? Which makes it way more stupid than this guy, because this guy understands about you, tell me about you, and all of that stuff. But you see that there are two different levels. There is one level which is the words that we remove, and there is another level which are the words that the synonyms. And it seems that those are loaded separately. So the question, the point is, if I can make the synonyms global, so if I can move this synonym thing to be a global thing, instead of putting into the brain, I mean in the global dictionary, I think it's way better. And I think the synonyms are used. That could be one way, yeah? That I think could be one good way. Maybe we have a solution? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because our language parsing system is fairly complex. So for example, we have triggers, we have trigger groups, we are generalizing. So like if you say fruit, he understands apple and things like that. So there is some reasoning behind. Now, I think that unfortunately, all that reasoning is in the global dictionary. But if I can split because the synonym is doing nothing else than adding a new term. So it's really defining a new word inside the database, and is then defining it as a synonym of something, right? So or I load all the synonyms in all the pet's brain, or I make this kind of generic. The problem is that terms, I think that is this is becoming a bit too complex compared to the advantage, right? So hello, Wicked Fritz, welcome and thank you for the follow. We are working on pets and familiars, and actually we are trying to teach them to speak. So we are trying to teach them to speak. The problem is that our system for speaking is fairly complex. And so what I did, maybe it was not a good idea, but what I did for the pets, I simplified it a lot. And so I used only a portion of it, and I stored in the brain of the pet, I stored on the brain of this guy the minimum amount of knowledge possible. Now, this is backfiring a bit on me because all the possibilities. But I think the simplest for me now is just to disable the okay, let me try to do that. So as soon as you speak with him, what happens is that we are transforming who are you into who are. That should not happen for the pets. Okay, that should really not happen. So we need to find a way to disable that. If we disable that, I think it's kind of reasonable for the players to use it. It's not perfect, but it's reasonable for the players to use it. The problem, so if I do what I just said, okay, if I do what I just said, and you are teaching him, tell me about you, he will only understand tell me about you. If I don't do what I just said, if you teach him tell me about you, unfortunately will not understand it, because he will just understand about you, which is not comparable to this one, and so this one will fail, right? So the understanding will fail. But so this one will be fine and this one will fail. But the reverse of this reasoning is that if you are teaching him, in this case, if you are teaching him about you and you are saying tell me about you, this one will work as well as about you. So both these ones will work. The difference in this case, in this other option, is that if I'm teaching him about you, he will only understand about you, and tell me about you, he will not understand it, right? I'm just trying to reason myself, by the way. I'm speaking loud, I'm thinking loud, but so about you, he will understand. Tell me about you, he will not understand, right? So these are like two different methods that we can use. Now the problem is that for certain phrases the player will not know. This is, let's say, option 1 and this is option 2. In option 1 there will be some phrases in which the player doesn't know which are the words that are getting deleted. and so he will never be able to properly define a trigger unless he has a kind of a guide. So we can tell him, hey, tell me these two words are never are automatically removed, because it's just, you know, speaking is the same as about you. I'm trying to reason on which one is the best. So in case number one, tell me about you will only work with tell me about you. Exactly, precisely that. If you say about you, it will not work. About you will be the double of that. I mean, it will accept both. And here, this one will be the only one. Will be the only one working. I'm looping. I'm looping on myself. Okay. I think that the easiest for now is to disable the parsing and just take the simple phrase. So if you teach him a phrase, he will only answer to that phrase. He will not try to parse, simplify, generalize the phrase. And this will be only for the pets, obviously. The NPC will continue to work as they work now. What I don't get is when this is happening. When this is actually happening. When this is actually, so we can check it in the server side, right? We can check it in the server side. Yeah, it's when he's doing this thing, recognizing phrases in. When he's doing this part, is when he's actually parsing the trigger. Yes, this filter known terms. This filter known terms is actually the one that is generating the issue for us. So the simplest thing I can do, right, is to remove it for pets. I think clear punctuation, we can leave it, but I think that filter known terms, I think it may be a problem. So I think I can say yeah, because you see saying like hello is replaced by greetings. Because in filter known terms there is a mix of synonyms and dictionary. No, I need to remove this for pets. I need to remove this for pets. I think we need to do something like that. So if self, I think is so we disabled it for pets because pets do not have the full synonyms and groups and triggers, or let's say the full synonym DB in their brain. I think if we do this, is limiting to the stuff that you can do and you can teach him, but I think is reasonable. I mean, it will be easier for the players. I think it will be easier for the players because they don't know all the logic we have behind quest, and they don't know all the logic we have behind answers, which is actually fairly complex, and you always have to be careful on what you are putting into, and how you are generalizing them and such. And so it will just clear the punctuation. So like a question mark or an exclamation mark will make no difference, and it will clear the spaces, I guess. I think that is the easiest I can think of. And I think that this will solve the problem for now. And I think we will use it like this for now. Unfortunately, it's becoming a bit late, boys. I see there is still a lot of people watching, so there is still 30 plus. So I would like really to stay on since you are here, but unfortunately tomorrow I have to work because it's Friday. So I mean, it's not a weekend yet. So, and it's 12:23 in my time zone. And so I think we will check this last thing now with this new setup. So what I'm expecting from the pet now is that he's basically responding one-to-one to what I teach him. So he's not doing any pre-parsing, any smart thing, anything. He's just, if I teach him a phrase, he's just answering to that phrase. And that's it. So if I teach him, who are you, right? He will not answer to tell me who are you, right? He will just answer to who are you as it is. Hopefully. So hopefully, because now I removed it from one side, I'm not 100% sure that I removed it when, wow, I didn't know I could do this. Okay, so if I say who are you exactly as it is, fuck, it didn't work. It didn't work. Failed filter known terms check. What the hell does it mean? I excluded it. Failed filter known terms check. I excluded it. Maybe there is the same check somewhere else. I know it's down here. If trigger terms length. What is term length, by the way? Okay. It's more complex than this. Because actually this filter known terms is adding to the trigger itself the list of words that it can answer to. Oh my god. Yeah. Hey. Wow. No, I need to change this. I have to think about this, and because no, I cannot remove this. If I remove, well, I can remove it, but I need to add more code down here. I don't know. I think unfortunately it's too late. I need to go. But anyway, everyone, thanks for the follows and thanks for watching. if you are interested in what we are doing, just click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. And also, if you want to support us, we actually have a Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift, where you can check. And if you want to play the alpha of the game with the lowest tier, you can access the alpha, which is basically the version that you're seeing right now, where you can already go around, create your character, speak with NPC, fight, do quests and things like that. It's still a bit buggy, and so maybe it's not the best at the moment, but if you want to test it, I think would be nice. Unfortunately, I really have to go, but also connect to our Discord. The link is in the description. Hopefully it's the updated one. If not, yeah, it's updated one, so you can click on that one, and also you can check our website. So good night, guys. Speak to you soon. Tomorrow will not be streaming, I think, because I will meet with some friends, as Fridays usually is the day. But let's see, maybe we skip it for some reason. But if we don't skip it, tomorrow will not be there. I will be there on Saturday. Okay? Bye bye. See you next time.